Hello, everybody. Brooks Baptiste here on your Wednesday morning. It is 11 o'clock, checking in from the First Alert Desk. Hopefully, your day is off to a great start. And if it's not, hopefully, we can share a couple of stories that may uplift you. But this first one, unfortunately, not one of those stories. One that is actually rather disturbing and one that's heartbreaking, and it has a lot of folks talking right now. The story of a couple that's being accused in this child abuse case. You might have heard of it. I want to give you some background of some of the details and whatnot that we've been learning to show you that these are the two who are accused of this Georgia couple accused of trying to starve their 10-year-old son to death. So here's their mugshots. Authorities have charged Tyler and Krista Shinley with attempted murder, child cruelty, battery, and false imprisonment. They say the Shinleys would lock their boy, or this boy, I should say, the 10-year-old, in his room for extended periods of time without access to food, lights, toilet paper, or even interaction with anybody, including his four siblings. Now, detectives aren't sure how this boy was able to escape, but a neighbor did spot him wandering down the street. Here's what's really interesting about this and is the very disturbing part. As a new dad myself, I can tell you a 3-month-old child, he weighs about 14, 15 pounds. Authorities say that this 10-year-old weighed just 36 pounds. Just think about that. And here's how another neighbor describes the moment that the boy made contact with outsiders. Take a listen.
I was walking around barefooted, confused looking. She took him in her garage and he said, "I'm really hungry. I haven't had anything to eat." I mean, this is tragic.
I don't think there's any other words that you can put with that. It really is tragic. It's awful. It's again heartbreaking, disturbing. That boy does remain in a hospital right now for treatment, and we can tell you, what's going on with the other 4 kids. We know that couple's other children are in care of state child services right now.
I was walking around
We've had our very
barefoot.
own Rebecca Schramm, who has been on top of this story today. A lot of these details unfolding yesterday afternoon and still digging to get more. But really, it's kind of one of those things where you just don't have too many words to say. You feel for these children who are, in the middle of something like this, but still a lot of unanswered questions and ones that, we're working to get you some answers for. So we'll be staying on top of that, and we'll have a live report coming up on Atlanta News First at noon on that story as well with those details. Okay, here's something that I think a lot of people can relate to, and probably something that people just don't want to hear, but I've got to be the bearer of bad news. The temperature is going to be getting warmer, right? You've already been feeling them in just the past week or so. But what about your power bill? Yeah, it's about to start going up. So we can tell you that Georgia Power announcing that it's going to have a price hike, and that's going to take place starting June 1st. All right, so I'm seeing if I can get you some video up here in our system right now. And if not, don't you worry. I'll just talk to you because we're friends, right? We go way back. We're friends. So Georgia Power, this price hike, again, going to be starting June 1st, and you're going to see your power bill jump just about $16. Now, you may be saying, all right, $16, is that really that much? Well, that's up to you to decide, but we know every dollar counts right now, especially as so many people are trying to stretch the paycheck right now. So this is typically a price hike that is spread out over 2 years, but this time in particular, it's going to be 3 years that you can expect to see that price hike. And you may be saying, what is the reason for this? Well, the higher gas in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine is what has led to this increase. So organizations like the Salvation Army and United Way are just a few of those nonprofits that are able to help people who are maybe struggling to take care of those utility bills right now. And we've got more information for you on our free Atlanta News First app, and of course on AtlantaNewsFirst.com of where you can get some help if you need it. Now, if you happen to be a senior and you're eligible, do want to tell you this: you could get $30 knocked off of your bill. So if you know you're on a fixed income, we know really how this can impact you and really how it's going to impact everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. You're going to feel it because the price is going up and folks are really going to feel that. But we do have that information for you on our website. So be sure to check that out there. And at least you can find yourself getting some of the help that you may need. Okay, so here's a story we've been staying on top of since this morning. Rick Ross, the rapper, we do have an update for you regarding his car show that takes place at his Fayette County mansion. Okay, it's called the Promised Land, referring to that mansion, and you've seen it. You may even know that it was, owned by Evander Holyfield. Here it is right here. This car show is something serious that folks look forward to every single year. And there was a lot of talk this year about whether it was going to be happening because the show was at risk of being canceled. The county right now having a lot of concerns about the noise, the safety, and the potential traffic that this event could cause. So, what to tell you about this? He held it last year. It brought traffic to a standstill. So those officials were concerned that they would have to deal with this again. And Rick Ross, he said, "I don't know. That's not going to happen." He did post to social media about an hour ago saying that the show is going to go on at his 235-acre estate, which he calls the Promised Land. That's in Fayetteville. So again, that's going to be happening on June 3rd. I'm sure it will be busy out there. Just looking at a lot of these images in the video, you can really see that folks come out in full numbers just to attend this car show. And it is something that I've heard people pay some good money to be a part of as well. So good luck to you if you're going to be out there. It's something just for you to keep in mind. All right, last but certainly not least, and Gravir might pop into my shot right now. No, hey, Gravir, just say hello real quick. You can say hey to the people. There she is.
Hello to
Hi,
the people.
Gravir. All right, so our final story today is something that I think if you have a child in DeKalb County, you may want to hear about because we know how important it is. It's graduation season right now, right? And it's all about safety when you're talking about getting a lot of people together in the same room. So there's one Metro Atlanta school district that's going to be taking those new security measures right now. We're talking about DeKalb County schools. The district announcing yesterday that anyone who attends the graduation ceremonies this year, they're going to have to pass through weapons detection devices before they're allowed inside the venue. Now, you may be saying what a lot of people are saying. This is a sign of the times. When did you have to go through metal detectors in order to get into a venue for a graduation ceremony? Well, we know that we've had a lot of unfortunate events recently, and folks just need to be safe at the end of the day. So that's something that you're going to have to deal with. We can tell you that the high school graduation ceremonies are going to begin this Friday, and they continue through May 27th. What is that? Memorial Day weekend. So we know a lot of you are going to be going into DeKalb County and really all over the metro, doing whatever you can to support your loved ones as they graduate, and if they're a part of class of 2023. But either way, just something for you to be aware of. If you're going to be going to DeKalb County, make sure you check your pockets because you will not get on the inside of the venue if you have something that you aren't supposed to have in there. Last but certainly not least, talk about the weather. All right, I'm no meteorologist, but as we take this live look outside, showing you from Sandy Springs, our Sandy Springs camera, just giving you an idea of the cloud cover that's out there right now. If you thought yesterday was something, well, thankfully you won't have to deal with it as much today regarding the storms, but there are some storms headed our way today. We're going to have First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey, who's going to be timing things out for us right here from the First Alert desk at just about 11:30. But in the meantime, remember the news continues on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and on our free Atlanta News First app.